What's going on? What's going on? Top of the morning. Time to go get this money. Top of the morning. What's today's date? Today the 29th. I didn't even write down the 28th. Oh yeah, what's today? How we all doing, y'all? Oh my God, not fucking. How we doing, everybody? Good morning on this cloudy Sunday. Condolences to all who have somebody suffering through this ordeal, or who had a loved one that passed away, you know. And my question is, does humanity have a chance against COVID-19, coronavirus COVID? Do we have a chance, man? Are we going to get through this as a whole? That's my question. You know what? I'm going to take a local way. I don't want too much loud highway driving. I want y'all to hear me. Do we have a chance? What do the numbers say? Now we're just looking specifically at numbers. What do the numbers say? The numbers say that over 160,000 people have contracted the disease. It says approximately 140,000 have passed away from this disease. I mean, damn, my numbers is wrong. No. Let me say this over. It says over 600,000 people have contracted COVID-19. Over 30,000 people have passed away from it, which is very unfortunate. And over 140,000 have recovered from it. All right. Now, I'm not like a math genius or anything like that. But if you add 140,000 recovered plus 130,000 passed away, you have 170,000, right? If you subtract 170,000 from 600,000, that gives you 430,000 people that are still alive, that are suffering with it or going through it. Whether there's, you know, I mean, and then you can break down the numbers even further to those that are asymptomatic, that have it. I mean, it seems like almost every celebrity that came out with it seemed to be asymptomatic, but we're not even going to break that down. The point I'm trying to make is, for everybody that's suffering through this particular ordeal, you still have 444,000 people that have a fighting chance, you know. And while we want to give our condolences to those that are suffering with it, we're not trying to be insensitive or anything like that. You still have to keep things in proper perspective. There's still over 440,000 people that still have a fighting chance to get through this shit. And there's 140,000 of that, there's 140,000 that got through it. You know, and it's honest. You have to be honest, and you have to report on everything. The people that passed away, the people that have survived. I mean, you want to, but to me, you got to focus on the people that survived more, because the answers to me lie in more in those that are surviving, not those that didn't make it. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you want to. I mean, the news likes to promote doom and gloom. I mean, because it drives up fear. It makes people easier to control. It rises. It freaking, some industries benefit off of people fearing because they do irrational things like buy a whole bunch of Purell, sanitizer, toilet paper, and things of that nature. But to me, you got to focus more on the people that are surviving, because the answers are in those that are surviving. Why isn't that being shared more? Now, somebody made a stupid ass analogy on my page, and I just deleted it because I don't really know that person like that. I'm not going to go I've answered the question like a million times, and I'm not going to go back and forth with a person that. Mainly, if I go back and forth with somebody that I truly like see as a friend. If you're not really my peoples like that, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. But they compared it to, it's like, oh, like, well, in the Columbine, that's like in the Columbine shootings or the Sandy Hook. I don't know the specific numbers, but let's say, you know, out of that whole school of, like, I'm just gonna make up numbers. Out of the school of 1,000, 25 kids were killed. That's like saying, oh, well, at least 975 people survive. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's a fucking false equivalency because there's all kinds of viruses and shit like that are just randomly out there on the earth. You can't put that on the same level as a fucking school shooter that intentionally goes out to fucking do shit. Now, I mean, you kind of can if you say that somebody constructed the disease, but this same motherfucker was telling me not to spread conspiracy theories when that in itself is a conspiracy theory. But whatever. That's a false equivalency. You put some false equivalency analogies on my page, I'm deleting it. Plus, if I don't fuck with you like that, get the fuck off my page. You know what I mean? Whatever. But you know what, Joe? You said it's gonna get worse. Prepare ourselves to be home until July work, and the board of editing say school's done for the rest of the year. You know what though, Joe? On some real shit, I feel like people need to stay their ass home. I feel like the only reason why I'm out right now because I'm what's considered to be an essential worker and I'm not sick. You know, I'm delivering goods to people's houses. That is the only reason why I'm out. But it seems like the best defense against this shit is for people to stay home, give themselves a couple. They say if you have it, most people recover within a couple of weeks. That's why this 2-week incubation period, not incubation, but this 2-week quarantine period keeps coming up. So it's probably better that people do stay home. This is what they need to do. You know what I mean? This is why I feel like parts of Connecticut aren't as bad because people really, I'm out here in these streets and people pretty much are staying home. Yeah, people are going to the grocery stores here and there, but that's because they have to. They don't got nobody else to give them their goods. But it's a lot better now than it was. It's a lot better now than it was a couple weeks ago when this first popped off. I got another theory too, yo. I got another theory. I feel like this has been popping off almost a month now. Next week, well, not next week, the week after. This is like we're going into like what week 3. I feel like a lot of us, man. Especially me, I'm exposed. I'm out in this shit almost every day, yo. And I haven't been major. I got sick early, like mid-February. It was a weird, bad cough. I probably had this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I got over. Who knows? My mother was telling me that I need to go to the doctor, but she always think I need to go to the doctor when I get sick because I've had pneumonia 2 times. Once when I was a baby, and another time when I was 16. I got through both of those situations. But I feel like within this 3rd week, going into the 4th week, or whichever time period. I know we was dealing with this since March. Well, I want to say March 4th is when it started popping off, like in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. And we're on the 29th. So that's 25 days that we've been dealing with this shit. And I feel like if you ain't come down with some shit by now, and you've definitely been out and about, and you've been around people, I feel like it's virtually impossible to totally isolate yourself from every human being, man. We all use credit cards. We all use mail. We all have mail. We all exchange money. We touch doorknobs, door handles. Our friends do. Man, it is impossible to be in like this complete bubble. I theorize that we're all exposed to this shit. That's my theory. It's just the people, you know what I mean, who have compromised immune systems. I think weaker is the wrong word, but the people that are more susceptible to it are the ones that are being affected more by it. I feel like if it was on some bubonic plague type shit, which is the way the media is trying to make it out, then 90% of the earth will be dying from it, which is not what is happening. And not just to relegate human beings to just raw numbers, not just to relegate human beings down to just numbers, but you got to deal with numbers. You got to deal with something. And then some people say, "Oh, I don't trust China's numbers. I don't trust them." You got to go off something, man. You mean to tell me like 100% of the motherfuckers from China, everybody from China is a liar and is evil? You're that cynical? You got to go off of something. I mean, the Chinese say that we the ones that put the shit in their fucking country in the first place. You hear shit from either direction. It's like What do we know? What to believe? But the point I'm trying to make is, do y'all think we're going to recover from this? Do you think this is bubonic plague levels? Do you think 95% of the entire earth is going to die? This is war. And in war, people do pass away. But just by mentioning that doesn't mean that you're insensitive to war. Insensitive to the casualties of war. You got to give yourself some type of glimmer or some type of hope during dark times. And not only just sing doom and gloom. You understand? Being an optimist doesn't mean you're being a realist. Being an optimist doesn't mean you're not being a realist. You dig what I'm saying? And only spreading doom and gloom and just sharing negative stats, that doesn't make you just a realist. A realist, or to me, what's even better than being a realist is being an objectivist. Being objective about the whole situation. And I feel like, yo, if you've been out here I've been out here working for 3 weeks non-stop out here. You know, I might be a motherfucking carrier. Who knows? I know I'm not sick. I always got allergies. I got to blow my nose right now. That's besides the fact. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you've been out here and you ain't really come down with nothing yet, chances are you probably a carrier. Chances are you probably already had this shit. If you was sick, like if you had like a pretty bad sickness within these past 2 months, chances are the COVID probably was it and you probably got over this shit. Now, I'm not saying, still be around and spread shit to people. I'm not saying nothing like that. But, you know, keep your loved ones where they need to be that are more susceptible to it. Try to avoid the elderly. Give people comfortable social distancing as much as you can. When I'm shopping, I get irked. Even before the shit popped off. When I'm doing Instacart, it irks the fuck out of me when I'm shopping for some shit and somebody's standing right next to me trying to shop for some shit. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me and let me do my thing. And I thought this way even before the shit popped off, let alone right now. I thought about this shit before this shit popped off. So motherfucker, I'm like, yo, could you like back the fuck up? I'll go down the aisle, you know what I'm saying? Usually I got a big ass grocery list of shit on my Instacart. If I see a whole bunch of I need something from this particular aisle, the pasta aisle, and I see like 17 people clustered in the pasta aisle, you know what I do? I look at the pasta, I scroll up, and I go somewhere else, and then I come back. I don't fucking go into the mix. So I've been practicing social distancing way before this shit popped off. I don't like motherfuckers being close to me when I'm shopping. I hate that shit. Bitch, get the fuck out the way. I'm the kind of person, I leave my cart stationary, right? And then I'll shop away from my cart, but I keep it at eyes distance because nowadays niggas will snatch shit from the cart. But I'm a bigger guy, so I don't like having my cart on me because I feel like I take enough space as it is. You dig what I'm saying? Let alone me pushing up this big ass cart and my big ass body. But take the necessary precautions. Take care of your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Buy groceries for your loved ones or Instacart or deliver shit to their house or what have you. Do things to help them out. But like, yo, this doom and gloom and like, we're not going to survive. And motherfuckers focusing on the smaller numbers of people that passed away in comparison to the vast majority that are still living and that still have a fighting chance. Come on, man. It's no comparison. If I'm sick, if I come down with the COVID, I probably got this shit already. But if I'm bed-stricken on a fucking ventilator, right? And you holding my hand, you my peoples, my mother, my girl, my homeboy, whoever holding my hand, and I'm like fucking bubbling up snot up my nose. Do you really think I want to hear, yo, 10,000 more people died today, man? Man, you don't even got a chance. You about to fucking die. This is scary as hell. You're not even going to survive. I don't even know why you was out there living on Earth. You caught the corona. You about to fucking die. You think I want to hear that shit? Or do you think I'd rather hear, yo, 85 more thousand people recover from this shit, man. You got a real strong chance. You're surviving this shit. You're fighting this shit, man. Keep this positive attitude going. And when you survive, they're going to extract your blood and see what the fuck made you survive and pass on that information to others. That's what the fuck we need to do. Yes, give acknowledge to people that pass away. Rest in peace. Condolences. But to me, the answers are in the motherfuckers that survived this shit, not the people that's passing away from it. And the focus should be on the people that's surviving this shit, not the people that's passing away from this shit. Give condolences to those that passed away from it, but focus on the individuals that are surviving because their cells, their antibodies, and their DNA has the answers to the problem. And that's all I had to say. I'll holler at y'all. Hashtag everybody need more green. And lastly, before I say optimism and positivity, you can be an optimist and you can be positive and a realist at the same time. Being a realist is not only talking about the negative things and negativity and the bad numbers, especially out of 600,000 people with 440,000 motherfuckers are still living with this situation and surviving and pushing through and surviving at a very positive uptick rate. That's all I'm saying. And being positive and being an optimist, you know what I'm saying, and seeing the brighter side of things and wishing people do better and hoping people improve and fight through this shit is much, much stronger for your immune system than being a bullshit ass, negative, Debbie Downer, pessimistic, doom and gloom, motherfucking negativity spreader. That's all I had to say. I'm really out this time. Peace.